Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today. Love is one of those things a man can't always come out and say directly. But his actions, his patterns, his energy, they'll always tell on him. A man might try to play tough, act like he's in control, like he doesn't feel too deeply, but trust me, when he's in love, even if he hides it, you can see it clear as day if you know what to look for. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how you'll know so you don't miss what's right in front of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break it down for you. One of the biggest ways you can tell a man is in love with you, even if he tries to hide it, is how he pays attention to the details. And I'm not talking about the big obvious things. Anybody can compliment you when you dress up or remember your birthday if Facebook reminds them. I'm talking about the small things, the stuff you didn't even know mattered to you until you see him noticing. That right there is a dead giveaway. When a man is secretly in love, his mind stores information about you like it's gold, because to him it is. Now let me tell you why this is so important. Men, by nature, we don't waste memory space on things that don't matter to us. If we don't care, we forget. Simple as that. You can tell a man something 5 times, and if he ain't invested, he won't remember it the 6th time either. But when a man loves you, when you occupy space in his heart, his brain starts working differently. Suddenly he remembers that you like 2 sugars and just a splash of cream in your coffee. He remembers that your favorite flower isn't roses like everybody assumes. It's sunflowers, because they remind you of summers with your grandmother. He remembers the name of your childhood doll, the song you said always lifts your mood, the story you told about your first job. Those things might seem small, but to him, they are treasures because they're pieces of you. And see, here's the thing. Most men won't come out and say, I memorize everything about you because I'm in love. They'll act casual like it ain't a big deal, but then out of nowhere, he brings up something you mentioned months ago. You'll be sitting there thinking, wait, how did he even remember that? That's love speaking in silence. That's how a man hides his feelings, but still shows them at the same time. He may not be bold enough to say the words, but his actions are already telling you the truth. I'll give you an example. Suppose you said once in passing that you can't stand the taste of mint chocolate ice cream. Months later, you two walk into an ice cream shop, and without asking, he avoids that flavor completely when ordering for you. Now, he ain't going to stop and say, see, I did this because I love you. No, he'll just do it naturally like it's nothing. But behind that simple action is a whole message. I listen to you. I pay attention. What matters to you matters to me. That's love, whether he admits it or not. Ladies, you got to start reading these little signals, because sometimes you're out here thinking he doesn't care, when in reality, he's showing you his love every single day in ways he thinks are too small to count. But small things add up. In fact, it's the little consistencies that make the biggest difference. Anybody can buy you flowers on Valentine's Day. That's easy. But a man who remembers to text you good luck before your big presentation because he knows you were nervous about it, that's the man who's in love. Another way you can tell is how he reacts when you mention your preferences. You could say, I don't like scary movies, and watch how fast he switches the channel or changes the date night plan. Or maybe you once told him that rainy days make you sad, and the next time it pours, he shows up with your favorite snack just to cheer you up. That's not coincidence. That's him carefully storing away pieces of your world so he can make it better. See, a man in love pays attention not just because he wants to impress you, but because he can't help it. Your words stick. Your habits stick. The things you care about start to matter to him on a whole different level. Even if he's trying to play it cool, even if he's telling himself, don't let her know how deep you feel, his memory will always give him away. So the next time you're unsure about where you stand with a man, look at how much he remembers. Does he bring up things you didn't think he'd notice? Does he make adjustments in his behavior because of something you said once? Does he hold on to details nobody else would think twice about? Because if he does, that's love, hiding in plain sight. When a man is in love with you, even if he tries to hide it, one of the clearest signs is the way he shows up for you. And I'm not just talking about the obvious stuff, like being there on special occasions or calling when it's convenient. I mean the quiet, consistent way he positions himself in your life to make sure you know you can count on him. Because here's the truth. A man who doesn't care is inconsistent. He comes and goes as he pleases. He's available when it suits him, and when you really need someone, he's nowhere to be found. But when a man loves you, even if he never says it out loud, he cannot help but show up. Think about it. You've got a flat tire, and suddenly he's there, rolling up his sleeves. You're moving into a new place, and before you can even ask, he's already carrying boxes. You've had a long, hard day, and when you call late at night, even though he's tired too, he still picks up and listens. That's not just friendship. That's not just kindness. That's love disguised as reliability. A man who's secretly in love becomes your silent protector, your quiet support system, because deep down, he needs you to know you're not alone. And what makes this so powerful is that men don't naturally go out of their way for people unless there's something deeper at play. A man values his time, his energy, his peace. If he's choosing to invest those things in you, if he's adjusting his life to make room for your needs, that's not casual. That's love leaking through the cracks of his silence. He might be holding back from saying the words, but his actions are telling you louder than anything he could say. You matter to me. Now let me paint a picture. Imagine you mention in passing that you got an important doctor's appointment coming up. You didn't ask him to come. You didn't even expect him to remember. But the day arrives and your phone buzzes with a text. Good luck. I'm thinking of you. Maybe he even shows up at the clinic, sitting quietly in the waiting room just so you don't have to face it alone. That's not something a man does for just anybody. That's a man who is deeply invested, even if he's keeping his feelings under wraps. Or maybe you're stressed about work, overwhelmed with deadlines. He can't solve everything, but somehow he finds ways to lighten the load. He brings you dinner so you don't have to cook. He sends you a message just to remind you to breathe. That's love in action. It's subtle, it's not flashy, but it's steady. And steady matters more than grand gestures because it proves consistency. Anybody can show up once in a while. Love shows up all the time. Sometimes it's even in the small sacrifices he makes. Maybe he cancels a night out with the guys because he knows you need company. Maybe he rearranges his work schedule so he can drive you somewhere important. Maybe he stays up late helping you finish something even though he's got to be up early the next morning. These sacrifices might seem little, but for a man, they're everything. A man won't change his plans for someone he doesn't truly value. That willingness to inconvenience himself for your comfort is his love showing through, even if he pretends it's no big deal. And here's the funny part. Most men won't even recognize they're giving themselves away. They'll shrug it off, act like it was nothing, but inside, that drive to be there for you, is uncontrollable. He doesn't want to admit he's in love, but he can't stop proving it through his presence. He knows your struggles matter, your happiness matters, your peace of mind matters. That's why he keeps showing up. So when you're trying to figure out how a man really feels, don't just listen to what he says because words are easy to hide. Look at how often he's there when you need him. Notice how quickly he responds when you're in trouble. Pay attention to the way he makes your battles his own without fanfare, without needing recognition. Because a man who shows up for you like that is telling you the truth with his actions, even if he's still hiding it with his lip. One thing a man can never fully hide, no matter how hard he tries, is the way he looks at you when he's in love. Words can be controlled. Actions sometimes can be disguised. But the eyes will betray him every single time. A man might not say a word. He might even go out of his way to act like you don't mean that much to him. But the moment his guard drops and you catch that look, you'll see everything he's trying to hide. It's that look of softness, of admiration, of being caught up in a moment without even realizing it. You'll see it when you laugh at something silly and he's not laughing at the joke. He's smiling at you like you're the most captivating thing in the room. You'll notice it when you're talking about something you're passionate about and his eyes are locked in, not wandering, not distracted, just fixed on you like you're the only voice that matters. He doesn't have to say a thing because his eyes are already giving you the whole speech. And let me tell you, that kind of look isn't casual. Men don't give that look to every woman they meet. Sure, we might glance, we might check somebody out, but that's surface level. That's just noticing. The look I'm talking about is different, it's deeper, it lingers. It's the look that says, I could sit here and watch you all day. It's the look that exposes a man's heart without his permission. Even when he tries to play it cool, his eyes don't know how to lie. Sometimes it happens in the quietest moments. You might be sitting across from him, not even doing anything special, just sipping your drink, scrolling through your phone, and when you glance up, he's staring at you. And the second your eyes meet, he quickly looks away, acting like he wasn't caught. But that right there, that's love, trying to sneak out through the cracks. He doesn't want you to see how much he feels, but he can't stop himself from looking. Other times it shows up when you least expect it. Maybe you're telling a story, animated and excited, and you don't even notice how deeply he's watching you. His expression softens, his eyes follow your every move, and in that moment, he's not just listening, he's absorbing you. That gaze is his heart speaking without words. It says, I see you, I admire you, and I'm more invested in you than I'm ready to admit. You'll also notice the difference in how his eyes react compared to everyone else's. Other people might glance your way, but when a man is in love, his eyes light up when you walk in the room. There's a shift, like the whole energy changes for him the second he spots you. He might not smile wide or jump up, but that sparkle in his eyes, that's his soul giving him away. That's him silently saying, she's the one who matters here. Even when he tries to cover it up, he can't hide the way his gaze finds you in a crowded space. You could be surrounded by people, but somehow his eyes always land on you. It's almost instinct, like a magnet he can't resist. That's how you know it's real. A man might hide his feelings with his words. He might guard his actions, but he cannot fight that pull to keep looking at you over and over again. And pay attention to how his eyes behave in tender moments. If you're upset, if you're crying, if you're talking about something painful, his whole face changes. His eyes carry that weight with you. They show concern, empathy, a softness that slips past his defenses. He might not say, I love you, but you'll see it in the way he looks at your pain like it's his own. That's love, raw and unguarded, leaking out when he least expects it. The eyes are the most honest part of a man in love. They will tell you the truth long before his mouth ever does. They will confess what he's been trying to keep hidden. And if you pay attention, you'll realize that every lingering glance, every stolen look, every sparkle when you enter the room is his heart speaking directly to you, even if his lips stay silent. When a man is in love with you, even if he's trying hard to hide it, one thing he just can't mask is how protective he becomes. And I don't mean controlling or overbearing. That's not love. That's insecurity. I'm talking about a natural instinct that kicks in almost without him realizing it. It's like something deep inside of him says, I've got to make sure she's safe. I've got to make sure she's okay. He might not be saying, I love you out loud, but his protective nature is shouting it from the rooftops. Think about how men are wired. From the time we're boys, we're taught that protecting the people we care about is part of our role. So when a man has real feelings for you, that protective side comes alive in little ways that might not seem like much, but they speak volumes. If you're walking together and he instinctively positions himself on the side of traffic, that's love showing itself. If you're out late and he insists you text him when you get home, that's love. If somebody says something slick about you and he immediately gets defensive, even if he tries to brush it off later, that's love. It's not always in big heroic gestures. Most of the time, it's subtle. It's in the way he notices when you're uncomfortable in a situation and finds a way to ease it. It's in the way he checks in to make sure you've eaten or make sure you get in the house safely before he drives off. These might seem small, but to him, they matter because you matter. A man doesn't invest that kind of protective energy in someone he doesn't love. And sometimes that protection comes with a little jealousy. Even if he tries to hide it, you might catch him watching when another man talks to you, not because he doesn't trust you, but because the thought of losing you makes his chest tighten. He won't admit it. He'll act casual, but deep down, that's his heart reacting. A man who doesn't care won't notice. A man in love notices everything. You can see it too in how he reacts when you're upset. If you're crying, his whole demeanor shifts. He wants to fix it, to make it better, even if he doesn't know how. And that right there, that urge to take your pain away is love. He may not have the right words, he may not have the perfect solution, but his heart won't let him sit back and do nothing. Protecting you isn't just about your physical safety, it's about your emotional well-being too. Picture this. You're walking through a crowded place, and he keeps glancing back to make sure you're close behind. Or you're telling him about somebody who disrespected you, and before you even finish, he's already fired up, ready to defend your honor. He might play it cool, but you can feel that energy. That's love he's trying to tuck away, but it keeps spilling out. And here's the real truth. Protection is one of the purest forms of hidden love because it's not about him. It's about you. It's about making sure you're good, making sure nothing touches you that could hurt you. That's a man saying, without words, your safety and your peace mean more to me than my own. Even if he never says how much he feels, that instinct to shield you tells you everything you need to know. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean he's trying to control where you go or who you talk to. Real love doesn't operate like that. This is